Hey guys, my name is Mitch Dyer. This guy's name is Colin Moriarty. We are at Bandai Namco in Japan, Colin, where you have just played Tales of Zestiria, and we saw some more Tales of Hearts R on Vita.
Vita, yeah.
So I haven't played a Tales game since Vesperia on 360. That was a while back, like 6 years, I think. What is awesome about Zestiria?
I was actually pretty impressed by some innovations in Zestiria because we just came off of Tales of Exilia and Tales of Exilia 2, which used the same engine, the same world, the same story, and that was fine. Those were really good games, but Zestiria kind of evolves Tales by bringing big, huge open maps and seamless battles and things of this nature. So instead of having these tight corridors and these tight linear paths that you kind of explore, maybe there are two paths off of it, they're actually massive maps. You've never seen anything like this in a Tales game before. It's really, really cool. And I think that it's cool when you go into battles, instead of a load screen popping up and then you're kind of in an arena on that map, you actually fight the enemies where you run into them without any loading at all. So you'll run into the enemy and the battle will begin immediately and you go from there. So I think it's really cool. I'm really excited about it. I'm disappointed that it's only on PS3. I was kind of hoping that they were going to do what Atlas did with Persona 5
trick,
and been like, well, it's on PS4 now too. They're not going to do that. But they did tell us when we were talking to Hideo Baba that you know, maybe they have to consider PS4 in the future because they're surprised by how the Western audience, which is important to Tales, is taking to the next-gen consoles.
But not Xbox One, because Vesperia, not a massive success stateside.
And Vesperia eventually came to PS3 in Japan. So that's always been kind of a PlayStation, except for, of course, the original Fantasia was on Super Famicom.
Does those improvements you mentioned with, you know, the bigger spaces and the seamless transitions, does that feel novel for a Tales game, or does it feel novel like as a JRPG, like in the grand scheme of things? Does it feel interesting? No,
it does feel interesting. I think it's a good question because it does feel novel for a turn-based JRPG. It's not really turn-based, I guess it's action-oriented, but I like more of like the random battles. Obviously, you're seeing the enemies kind of like Chrono Trigger on the map, and then you run into them, and then, and then you know, so it's you kind of transition into like, okay, now it's combat mode, and now we're done. We're gonna go explore. Exactly. So this, you know, Tales is like action-oriented, almost fighting game-like battle system is intact. I can't really read, you know, Japanese, so I had no idea what the arts were that I was using, what skills I had equipped, and all those kinds of things. But what's nice. What's cool is that so in Zestiria there are humans and there are these spirits called seraphs, and you can, by pressing L1, combine with them in battle at will to make your character stronger too. So there's like quite a few innovations. I'm actually really excited about Zestiria because you know, Tales is getting really popular in the West. Slowly but surely. Again, I mean, coming back with Tales of Destiny and Tales of Legendia, and then Tales of Symphonia, especially. People really liked it, you know, liked that series, and they're taking to it again. So the good news is that it comes out in January, the end of January in Japan, but they say within 6 months we're going to get it in North America. We've never gotten a Tales game. That's the fastest turnaround. Yeah, we've never gotten a Tales game that quickly. As people know with Exilia specifically, I mean, you know, some of these games take two years. Exilia was 2 years. So it's crazy. So that's really exciting. I think it's a good sign. And then Hearts R. Yeah, I was going to ask how all of that, like with all of that in mind, when you go to play something like Tales of Hearts R, how does it feel when you've played something that is essentially like, oh, we've improved everything that this game used to do? I think, you know, so Hearts was on, you know, DS originally, and Hearts R came, you know, was the Vita port, and it feels like a traditional RPG, which I like because we have a lot of RPGs, a lot of them on Vita, but not a lot of them are traditional. I mean, you have, you know, Persona 4. Play that game. You know, is a more traditional RPG, but you have a lot of Monster Hunter-like RPGs and action RPGs like Ys, Memories of Celceta, and all those kinds of games. So having a traditional RPG is really kind of nice, and I'm really, really, really excited about Tales of Hearts R. Good. And I hope that we get Tales of Innocence as well in North America. My suspicion is that Bandai Namco is waiting to see how Hearts does. Because it was even, you know, a lot of people had to ask even to get Hearts over in the West. So it's cool that Vita's getting a big, meaty JRPG like that, and that comes out in November. If you're interested in that, keep screaming at Bandai Namco, and maybe you'll get your Tales of Hearts, Tales of Innocence. So many games. Colin, thank you for your time. Oh, thank you. For more on JRPGs, including Tales games and possibly Persona, stay tuned to IGN.